With the fuel shortage in Sri Lanka, the bicycle has seen a resurgence. 200 years ago, German Baron Karl von Drais created the velocipede and became known as the father of the bicycle. But it was much later, in 1806, that the French invented the first machine to be called a bicycle, although, given its rough rides, it was called the bone shaker. Then came the rather comic-looking penny farthing. However, in 1885, an Englishman came up with equal wheels, a chain drive, and brakes. Today's bicycle, which in the 21st century is a must-have for all of us now. Welcome to Kaleidoscope with me, Savithri Rodrigo. Our top story today asks the question, have we lost the capacity to hope? Also, is the construction industry crumbling? A boot camp project for sustainable living, celebrating island life in style, plus the Gratian 2021, our Father's Day winner, market and economic news, and some exciting tidbits.
Did you know you can open a digital fixed deposit with just 5,000 rupees? Open a CDB iDeposit digital fixed deposit today. CDB, your friend.
Don't forget, subscribe and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. It's time for a quick look at our commercial bank snapshot. Inflation keeps soaring, up in May to 45.3%, with food inflation spiking to 57% year on year. The World Bank expects Sri Lanka's economy to contract by 7.8% in 2022, with a positive growth trajectory expected to begin only in 2024. Tea exports dropped 17% in May year on year. Alcohol sales in Sri Lanka have dropped drastically by 30% due to recent price hikes. The WHO finds that about 1 in 8 people across the world live with a mental disorder. 998 kilograms of cocaine, worth about 68 million pounds, was mistakenly delivered in banana crates to supermarkets in the Czech Republic. An extreme drought has seen an ancient 3,400-year-old city emerge from the Tigris River in Iraq. Welcome, you're watching our Commercial Bank News Capsule. The construction industry has been having its fair share of woes. According to the Finance Ministry's annual report, the state sector construction projects haven't made payments due to liquidity constraints, with total receivables amounting to nearly 17.2 billion rupees. Here's what the president of the Chamber of Construction Industry of Sri Lanka, engineer Major Ranjit Gunathilaka, said when I asked him what the current industry status was and how they were going to get out of it.
Industry has gone bankrupt. Is non-payments by especially the public sector projects, which are mostly unviable and unfeasible projects initiated by various governments. Now the industry people, just like the country, can't pay our creditors and the lenders. Immediately, country must show that we are politically stable. That's the first step. With that, we should be able to we are economically also stable to a great extent. Then, those who want to invest, whether it's public or private, they will come. Then the industry people, stakeholders, automatically will be in order. But they should not do the mistake what they did in the past for future.
It has not been an easy week at the Colombo Stock Exchange, but the stock market returned to some positive territory, even though on thin volume. The all-share price index moved up by 2%, but with the daily average turnover registering a meager 922 million rupees. WTI oil prices moved down rapidly this week and is currently at around $104 per barrel due to recession fears and hikes of global interest rates. Gold prices continued being depressed at $1,835 per ounce due to the strong US dollar, which is at a 20-year high. In our entrepreneur focus is a software engineer, lecturer, and consultant who decided to test her dream, changing the mindset and lifestyle of communities by introducing sustainable living. The result was real life. Here's engineer Jasmine Nanekara's story.
Real Life was pitched at the Engineering Entrepreneurship Bootcamp in 2018. And then 2019, I founded Real Life as a social enterprise to provide creative technical solutions to raise awareness and promote sustainable lifestyle in Sri Lanka. We have five major sustainable life solutions: sustainable food solution, health and wellness, eco-friendly lifestyle and events. We have eco-friendly paper brand called Ogle, and sustainable education and lifelong learning, career development and entrepreneurship. Our mission is to change the mindset and lifestyle of 22 million of people through our stereotype life coaching programs and enhance real life values of mindfulness, strong relationship, loving family, happier lifestyle to make our vision of sustainable future for the next generation of Sri Lanka.
5 times shortlisted author Ashok Ferry was pleasantly surprised when he won the Gratian Prize 2021 for his novel The Unmarriageable Man. The event, held at Barefoot after 3 years, was a day of celebration. Hot off the win, I asked Ashok how he felt to have finally won this coveted award, which had been elusive to him for so long.
The shock hasn't really hit me. It'll hit me tomorrow, I'm sure. Because, you know, after a while you get used to it and you think, yes, another year, another year. And it's particularly a pleasure for me that it's here at Barefoot, which is such a wonderful center of the arts. So it feels great.
Fancy a drink above a canyon? This 250-meter long diamond-shaped glass bar dangles over the Dashbashi Canyon in Georgia, the largest and tallest hanging structure in the world. Meet Borami, the largest freshwater fish ever recorded. This enormous stingray, weighing 300 kilograms, was caught in the Mekong River but was released after being electronically tagged for monitoring. Kaleidoscope picked a lucky dad for a Father's Day gift from Healing Island. Congratulations, Rajiv Amarasuriya. Enjoy the Father's Day gift pack from Healing Island. And more to win? Hop on board and get lucky. Win a free speed reading program with Sanjeev. You can be anywhere in the world and still follow it. Just let us know. That's all you have to do.
Making all your new goals in life a reality is why our strength is your strength. With 12 billion rupees worth of customer benefits in 2020 and a life insurance fund worth over 100 billion rupees, our strength is your strength. You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Srilanka Life.
Over 48% of the Sri Lankan population is under the age of 30. And yet, amidst the turmoil of recent years, the youth find themselves looking at bleak futures within Sri Lanka. Brain drain is massive, unemployment is increasing, inflation is beyond comparison, and money is scarce. Carving out a future in Sri Lanka is nearly impossible. I checked in with Prashant Divisa, founder and lead of Sri Lanka Unites, the largest movement for reconciliation in the country, which has now spread to over 10 countries as Global Unites. Prashant, welcome once again on the show. You've been working a lot in the last few years and decades with Sri Lankan youth. Recent years have not been kind to our youth in this country. What are the immediate problems you see facing Sri Lankan youth?
There is a frustration with the fact that the education system that leads to nowhere. It only has opportunities for a select few, and the rest are stranded. For years, they haven't addressed that. And you also have an education system that hasn't been updated to the modern times so that they can compete at an international level. You have the lack of English training for a lot of our young people who want to in rural sectors. They wish their English teachers in their government schools were able to bring them, but even those teachers are not fully trained. Now, with the economic downturn, the fear of what is our future, there's running out of a capacity to hope. And that needs to be addressed. They're realizing our older generation don't have solutions, may not even know what to do next. We have to take matters into our hands and start leading and serving and innovating and building our own country.
So what are these young people questioning?
Once you've become a bankrupt nation, once you've had so many cycles of violence, once you've seen a nation at independence which was just second to Japan as an economy, Asia's oldest democracy, now at this level, they don't trust anybody. They're questioning everything, which is great. We have to. Breaking down of the system that failed is important, and you need to question everything. And that's what they're doing. And at the same time, they're asking for what works. How do we do it? And then clearly pinning down saying these individuals They did us wrong, and we need accountability. That's important.
Two things that have been ingrained in our culture among manifold issues is racism and gender inequality. Do the young people realize that these two have been used as tools to pit one against the other?
First of all, I think it's been very clearly the main tool for every political party more often than not. And it's also been a way to hide their incompetence, hide the fact that they don't have experience or the capacity to deliver. And when it comes to one election cycle to the other, now they have failed on their promises. So now let's play the ethnic card. Let's play the religion card. Let's create a fear psychosis and pit people against each other and show that I am your person, you should vote for me. And as a result, we've had incompetent thugs coming into power. And so young people this time around, with the Aragale, that's one of the most beautiful things for me about this protest, is that they are questioning that, saying we have been pitted against each other. They use racism to hide their incompetence, to pave the way for their corruption, and to have self-serving policies for themselves. We will never let them divide us again. I'm seeing that here in Gulfis, I'm seeing that in Kandy, in Kegol, across the country, down south in Hambantota. That's an amazing start. Now we want to make sure it's not just a phase, that people realize that, and there's a resistance. The moment the politician plays the ethnic card, the religious card, to hide their incompetencies, that we call them out on it.
So young people instigated the protests. They are continuing it. Do you think they will have the strength and the fortitude to go on until their goals are met?
It's going to be a long run, and I don't think we've seen protests this long in any way. Even in the Arab Springs, even in Egypt, you're talking about 23 days and so on. At least those dictators had a little bit more shame, and they realized that they've failed, and they saw the consequences and they left. Our people in power have less of that, and so we will have to wait and see. But what I do know is that it's all beginning to create the new culture, the new character of a nation, a new character of a generation. And this is all important. Whatever the outcome is, this is important for this generation to take leadership now and no longer believe in these career politicians who've been in politics for 50 years and now saying they have a dream for building a developed country. You failed. Now it's time to step away, because it's not your future at stake. It's the future of a new generation. And there are competent, educated, trustworthy, transparent young leaders waiting at the helm. Make way, get out.
Given the amount of stuff we are going through right now, Prashant, that there are young people out there ready to take the mantle and take us with them up where we belong in this country, really. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
She's a qualified marketer who's worked in diverse business areas, but it was her inherent style and living on this island that she took to the ramp. With her label, Rachel Raj. Here's Sarita Rajandran on her latest collection, In Life in 60. Sarita, so how and why did you start your label, Rachel Raj?
I identified a niche in the local market for standard free size clothing and decided to create a brand that celebrated the individuality and diversity of all women, no matter what shape, size, or form. I employ a cluster of cottage industries, and they manufacture everything. Everything is handcrafted, from the dyeing, the batik work, the bohemian detailing, the embellishments, and we use eco-friendly, chemical-free dyes. Rachel was my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, and is my middle name. Raj is a part of my surname, so I guess I am Rachel Raj.
And until we return next Friday, let's just remember our Kaleidoscope takeaway. Hope is the only thing stronger than fear.